Hey guys, it's Eagle and welcome back to another episode inside of Technological Journey.
Oh, that was weird. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, yeah, welcome back, guys. Yeah, so a lot has happened in between the last episode and this one. I've got a lot of stuff to update you guys on. I've done just some kind of the grindy work that I don't really want to show, but I'm gonna take the time here to kind of explain, hopefully, what I was doing. So as you can see here, I also switched out the string or the string farm that we had for a canola farm, and this is going to help us down here in making ourselves the canola oil, which is just going to be part of the process into getting set up and making biodiesel, which is going to be very important as we move on into MV so that we can power more turbines to make more power. Going along with that, I did have two turbines built, and they are in this room. And also, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I kind of completed a little bit of the base, kind of spruced things up a little bit, finished off these stairways, or these stairways into the next area. I also found these cool blocks, these factory blocks, and kind of made this room in here look a little bit more industrial. I also made these blocks. These are really cool. These are just like animated fans, so I kind of put these sporadically around the base to kind of show like, oh, they're venting the building. So that's pretty cool. But as you can see, I have this monstrosity of machines right here. And yeah, this is not permanent. I definitely plan on making something a little bit nicer, something similar to our LV machine setup. I'm not sure where I'm going to do this. I might just end up doing it in this room, or I may just end up using this room to create biodiesel. So I'm not really sure yet, but for right now, this is what we're working with. We have this ethanol going into these two diesel generators. Hopefully this will be biodiesel at some point. But also what we have here is a extruder to help make ourselves some different shapes a little bit easier. I also have this assembling machine, this advanced assembling machine. This has been very useful so far in creating ourselves many of these refined diodes, capacitors, resistors, transistors. So this is going to be super important for us to make a large amount of circuits going into the next part of the game here. Also have this cutting machine that I was using to cut down those silicon wafers into the various different parts as well. So we have some integrated circuits, we have some central processing units, we have some RAM. So we have a lot of this stuff built and ready to go to make ourselves hopefully a lot of circuits. And that's not even counting the circuits that I already made. So I have 31 here. I have some in the chest upstairs. I also have some MV circuits in that chest up there to help us make even more machines. So we have quite a bit of of progress here as far as the machines and the circuitry goes. And that's kind of been all I've been up to. Let's see, what else have I been doing? I make myself some more rubber. Oh, I also made polyvinyl chloride, just because it was super easy to make based on we were already making the ethylene. So I just kind of switched the setup around, and in here I'm adding the chlorine and the ethylene to get myself the polyvinyl chloride as well as hydrochloric acid. So that's what this chemical reactor here is set up to do, make ourselves some polyvinyl chloride. So we have a good amount of that. We have a good amount of polyethylene. We have a good amount of rubber. So we have a bunch of different things here that we are going to be using to get ourselves even deeper into the MVH. I also wanted to show the quest book a little bit because there's been a lot of progress here into the MV line. Up here, if you notice, liquid fuel jetpack. I actually got this from a mob drop. I think there was a skeleton that was wearing one. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing to fly around, if you haven't noticed that already. So that's super cool. I don't know exactly how to fill this thing up. It says it has light fuel right now, which is not a big problem. I think I can fairly easily fill that up. But yeah, it's been super fun to be able to fly around a little bit now, so it's not so slow to get around the base. And it looks like it lasts a pretty long time. So that's awesome. What else have we done? I also completed this quest to get the ruby and sapphire lenses. I actually crafted these legitimately using a sifter that we had. So I didn't need to do this, but I just did it just because I had the extra. We also got ourselves some stainless steel. This is going to give us some more pyrolusite and some ruby to get ourselves even more, I think chrome, I believe is what that's for. Pyrolusite might give us magnesium. I'm not 100% sure. We made these wafers. We made some more assemblies, electronic processors, electronic circuits. These SMDs will give us, oh wow, 16 buckets of polyethylene. I'll take that. No problem at all. I would say the big thing that we had problems with, not problems, but the most grindy thing that we had to make so far were these LV superconductor wires. And when I go in to look at these, you actually need LV electric pumps to craft them. And I saw this recipe and I was like, oh, cool, we can make, 9 of them. But it had liquid starlight from Astral Sorcery, which took me down this long rabbit hole of trying to figure out how I could get some liquid starlight. So then I was like, okay, so I need this light well. And I looked at the light well and saw what it needed. It needed a luminous crafting table to craft it. Obviously, I know we do not have the stuff we need to craft this, but it put me down this rabbit hole to get the luminous crafting table. I was like, oh, okay, it needs marble. And I assumed that I could just go out and find that in the world. And that's where we ran into our biggest problem, or the biggest setback, I guess I'd say, for this world. Don't worry about that. It's just raining really hard here, so that's a flash flood warning. I should be okay. Hopefully everything's all right at least, but yeah, that kind of scared me a lot. So flash flood warnings. Hopefully I don't get swept away. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The biggest problem that I'm having in this current world is, if you guys didn't know, if I didn't mention this so far in this series, I am using a terrain generation mod. I'm using realistic terrain generation. That's how we're getting these cool trees and these mountains and just these biomes in general. That's how we're getting that. However, the drawback that I'm seeing is that none of the marble actually spawns. I think it's supposed to spawn in veins with ores, or maybe there's like nodules underground. I have yet to find them. I have explored and explored and explored, and I could not find any. I even went into a creative world with the realistic terrain generation on and just flew around for all of 30 minutes and never found one. So we're not going to get the naturally spawned marble, but what I learned is, through the rabbit hole that I went on, is that on the planet Pluto, there is the Astral Sorcery structures that spawn. So it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get marble until we can go to Pluto. Seems a little weird, but hey, that seems what we're going to have to do. Hopefully we don't need it for anything to get there. Otherwise, we're going to have an issue. I don't think we do, but that's going to be a problem. Let's see. What else did I try to experiment with? I was a little bit worried about getting titanium for HV. And realize that it's not going to be a problem at all. I just need to macerate aluminum to get myself some bauxite, and that should be a problem. So, shouldn't be a problem, I should say. So, that should be pretty easy to do. But yeah, the marble situation, I don't know how it's going to affect the playthrough. But yeah, that's just something I noticed when I was going down the rabbit hole. Anyway, what are the plans for today? Aside from just general progression. Let's go ahead and look at the clipboard, kind of see what we got written down. More circuits, obviously, always going to need more circuits. More MB machines just to speed up our production of pretty much everything. Tidy up the base. I did that a little bit already, but I might do some more. Astral question mark. That was me panicking. Didn't know what I was going to need. Multi-smelter. That's a maybe. I don't know if I'll end up making that. It might be cool to do. I think it's a 16 recipes in parallel as opposed to 8 that the steam oven will make, so it shouldn't be twice as efficient. Biodiesel as well. We can also go back to this one. Petrochemistry, that's going to be important to making ourselves the biodiesel, more gas turbines. But other than that, we're doing pretty well so far. Let's see, what else do I have to talk about? This flux bore. I also made a flux bore. It was a quest in the HVH. We have this flux bore here, so we can get ourselves some batteries, another ring, which I think I already have 1 ring on. Can I put 2 on? That'd be pretty cool if I could. Looks like I can. I don't even know if that's going to do anything. But anyway, we have that. So we have the flux bore. I upgraded it a couple times to reinforced. I spent some time getting the XP to enchant it using the Ender IO enchanter. So we got that going. And the reason I just got kind of bored of mining with that after I had the debacle with the hammer last episode. I'm like, I need something a little bit different. That's definitely going to happen again unless I take care of this. So we got this now instead of that, which is hopefully going to be more useful for us. And I think I plan on making the Greg Tech ones at some point just because I think they look awesome. And I've never done that before. So that's pretty much that. So I guess we can go ahead and get started on what we're going to do today. Which I don't know exactly what I want to start with. I guess the first thing we're going to want to start with is just progressing down the quest book even more and making ourselves our first HV circuit in the electric computer, which is pretty simple. That's what we made the superconductor wire for. We can just use soldering alloy. We need some aluminum plates, integrated circuits. We should have everything we need to do this. But how many do we need to make ourselves the circuit assembler? It looks like we're going to need 2 HV circuits, which means we're going to need 8 HV 8 MB circuits, which we should have by looking this chest over here. We should have 8 of them in here. Yep, we have 18 actually. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and clear out the inventory a little bit. I collected all those quests and have a full inventory now. Just put the pyro up in here. Just get some other basic materials. Put the magnetites in here, smelting. I guess I could put this pyrolusite and ruby in here too. I don't see that being an issue. We have extra lenses now in case we ever need them. Can't hurt to have. Let's see. Dark steel upgrade jump, dark steel upgrade empowered. The only dark steel stuff I have are these boots, and I don't know exactly how to add upgrades to that. That might be something I'll have to figure out as well. Polyethylene tank we can put in here. Also built the farming station. Not ready to use this yet. So maybe at some point we'll end up doing that. But for right now, manual is working perfectly fine. Put this battery in here. We don't need that. Let's see. So we need this HV circuit. So we're going to need some aluminum plates. Let's see. How many is it for each? 2 for each. We're going to need 4 of them bad boys. We're going to need 4 LV superconductor wire. Uh-oh, what did I do with it? Tin wire. Silver. Superconductor base. Superconductor wire. Okay, there we go. So there's that. Let's get these plates going. Made some more steel plates. All right, what else is needed? We're gonna need refined resistors, refined capacitors. I don't know if I have both of those yet, but I know I have at least one of them. So we need refined components as well. Let's see, refined diode, refined capacitor. Refined capacitor, refined resistor. Okay, cool. So then now we can build this in the LV circuit assembler. Should already have some tin alloy or some soldering alloy in this, which we do. So we can put in our circuits, our diodes, our resistors, our superconductor wire, and our aluminum plates. And that should be everything. And integrated circuits. I forgot the integrated circuits. No problem. We should have plenty of those. Yes, we do. It's so much nicer being able to fly around the base. And it's only going to get better. So let's go ahead and make ourselves these. While those are going, let's go ahead and start crafting up the other components that we're going to need. I don't know if we're going to have everything right now, but we should be pretty close. Let's see. And this is to make the circuit assembler. Okay. Circuit assembler. We're going to need the 2 HV circuits. We're going to need more aluminum plates than I thought. So let's go ahead and go over to the EBF and grab some. Trying to keep this thing up and running as much as possible. Right now, I believe it's doing stainless. Yep, we mixed up a bunch of that. At least to get us started. Let that thing bend up. Yeah, most of the time I spent in between episodes was just dealing with creating as many of the plastics that I was going to need. And just some general stuff to get set up. So a lot of polycaprolactam, you know, a lot of polyethylene, PVC. So we've got quite a bit of that stuff ready to rock and roll. Also made a lot of gold in preparation for HV. I know we're going to need a lot of that. So let's just go ahead and make some gold wire. I know for a fact we're going to need that. I already had some fine gold wire made. All right. That should be fine. I think I'm going to need more rubber, if I remember correctly. Yeah, most likely. Okay, so we have that done. Conveyor module. Need some more motors, which means we need some more copper wire. There's no big deal. We just need to make some of that. That should be fine for now. Switch this out for copper. Maybe I have some somewhere else. Oh, I actually do have a 64 in here. Can't hurt to have more though. All right. Gonna need some more of these bad boys. 6 might actually be the perfect number. At least I have some extra. Not too worried about it. Robot arm. Okay, so we're gonna need another MV circuit for this. Let's see. We have already, thankfully. Robot arm. Cool. What else do we need? The emitter, which just needs quartz, which I know we have some in this chest over here. We'll grab one out. Make ourselves the MV emitter. And then once we grab ourselves the circuits, we should have our assembly machine. HV circuit. Very nice. And our MV Advanced Circuit Assembler. Very cool. Very, very cool. That's 2 more quests completed. And the multi-smelter. Let's just kind of read what this thing's about. Let's see. The multi-smelter is a multi-block structure used for smelting massive amounts of items at once. Different tiers of coils provide a speed boost and energy efficiency gain. 16 is the base value smelted per operation and can be multiplied by using a higher level. I assume by higher level it means higher level of coil. Yeah, okay. Energy discount level 2. Level 4 energy discount. Doesn't really say the difference here. And this needs 3 HV circuits, which is going to be 16. Is there an easier way to make this? I need to check the quest book. Let's check the progression tab. We can complete this this quest to get 2 buckets. So looks like, all right, refined processor. This is going to be our last tier LV circuit, and this is one thing we can use. So this is our, okay, so we could do a lot here. This is why I looked ahead, and that's why I made a bunch of this stuff. I even made 64 good plastic circuit boards, lots of CPUs, lots of tin alloy. So theoretically, we should be able to make ourselves 4 stacks of these LV circuits using this MV circuit assembler. So maybe that's what we should go ahead and start doing. So let's do this, and we can switch out one of these machines. Probably get rid of this extruder for right now. Let's make sure I'm on the right thing. Yep. There we go. And the advanced circuit assembler. We are going to need to move around the soldering alloy. I made some more dust. Maybe I should just, maybe I should just smelt more. Yeah, let's just do that. Should be able to put this in the fluid extractor, which is in here. Does it need to be... Let's see. Soldering alloy in the... It's okay, so it does need to be the ingot form. Not a big deal. There's 8. One more operation. There we go. There's our 20. Now we can put this in the solidifier. Or the fluid extractor. Hopefully, yeah, it shouldn't go in here because it's already occupied with canola oil. Very nice. Oh, I need tin alloy, not soldering alloy, right? Oh, no, it is soldering alloy. Yeah, it needs soldering alloy. Yeah. All right, cool. What else are we going to need? I guess we can start loading that up while that's making the soldering alloy. This might use a lot of power. Okay, so we have our good plastic circuit boards that we made. The recipe for this just required some sodium persulfate or iron 3 chloride and some plastic circuit boards, which was just sulfuric acid, polyethylene. You could also use PVC. PVC is actually much more efficient, and even more efficient is the polytetrafluoroethylene. Wow, say that 5 times fast. And you can get 4 per each craft. So we just made a stack of them. I think we probably just used the polyethylene just because we had a good amount of it. But yeah, so that's how we made the good plastic circuit boards. Then from here, we need, let's see, central processing units, which we do have. Central processing units, yep. Boom. And then the last things we need are refined capacitor, transistor, resistor. It's micro. Resistor, capacitor, and a transistor. And we're gonna need much more than 64. We're probably gonna need 4 stacks of each to do that. So shouldn't be a problem. We made a lot of them just for that purpose. And they're pretty easy to make, actually, now that we have the plastic crafting. They're pretty easy to make. The last part we're gonna need is soldering alloy. What's the last part? And the fine tin alloy wire, which we do have as well. I already made that up. A fine tin alloy wire. We'll grab a few stacks of that. This thing is done, and we can put this in one of these drums. Cool. Put the canola oil back in there. Alrighty. Let's fill this thing up. Soldering alloy in. Tin alloy in. So here we go. We should be crafting our last tier, our last LV tier circuit. Very, very cool. I love that it makes 4. It is so nice. Very, very cool. So we're working our way down here slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. So we've got the LVH completed finally. MVH, we are 93% of the way done. We're getting very, very, very close. Let's see here. Complete that quest. I don't need to do that. I made myself an extruder because I don't hate myself. All right. Refined assembly. What's needed in here? More soldering alloy. More plates. This just requires the circuits. So really the only thing that changes to make this is just changing stainless steel for tin alloy. And you use the refined processor, which we should be fine on. We've already made 24 of them. Very, very cool. Let's go. All right. Yeah, so stainless steel is going to be important. I think we can use I think we could just use an LV bender to make ourselves stainless steel plates. It just takes some time. This is a long craft, 1.5-minute craft to get each ingot. We're going to need to get some Canthal soon, and we are very, very close. That's one of the first quests to complete in the next part of the quest book. So once we get that, it should make our lives hopefully a little bit simpler. All right, cool. So we are making ourselves some stainless steel plates. We'll let the stack of that go ahead and go. Diodes are almost out. Resistor, and capacitor. A couple more crafts. This is so satisfying seeing so many of these circuits being built. I remember just a few episodes, it felt like we were handcrafting them still. It all ramped up very, very quickly. Fill this bad boy back up. Take the circuits out, and man, oh man, we almost have an entire stack of these circuits. We have a bunch of different kinds of LV circuits here already. Interesting. Refined processor, electronic processor. So the refined processor is the higher tier LV circuit. Okay, cool. Okay, so the superconductors are so annoying to craft. They are nice. That's one thing I do miss about Nomi Factory is the superconductor cable at each tier. And sometimes they even had multiple. In this one, there's a special cable actual for it. So you do have to deal with the energy loss, which I guess I really never had to deal with in Nomi Factory, which I'm thankful for. But now you got to be a little bit more conscious of your cable runs. So not too bad. Superconductor. Oh, so it has all of this stuff. Okay. I mean, I guess the LV superconductor wouldn't be too bad, but the problem is we're already to the point where we're very much past that, which is kind of annoying. The pump for each is a lot, and the liquid starlight's a lot too. So I just made this craft right here at the expense of more pumps and nitrogen instead. So that was, not great, but it is what it is. Let's see how these things are going. Good. Once again, this is so many circuits. This is awesome. Well, I guess I'm going to let this cook up, and then I will be right back, hopefully moving on to the next part. All right, and we are back after making 2 stacks of these refined processors. I think that's where we're going to stop with that for now. Any more circuits that I want to craft of these tiers, I'll try to do off camera. I think what I want to do here is I want to pivot into making myself some biodiesel, just because I want to get some more MV machines, and that's going to require power. And not that we can't use the ethanol, I just think the biodiesel is a cool thing to have set up, so we're going to go ahead and try to do that. So let's go ahead and look at the quest book here. Biodiesel. So I know for a fact we're going to use an ethanol craft. There's a few different ones that we can use, but the one I'm going to go with is this last one with empowered oil, purely because it seems like it's the most efficient in terms of the amount of biodiesel we get. Glycerol, we're going to store that. That's going to be important for making the next tier circuits because it's needed to make epoxy resin. Sodium hydroxide, that's super easy to make, so I'm not worried about that. So it seems like the empowered oil is going to be the thing we need to make. So empowered oil. What does that need? It is made within the Actually Additions mod, or it's part of Actually Additions, but we can use the chemical reactor to make it. So to make the empowered oil, we need 5 buckets of crystallized oil and creosote. Creosote, not a problem. We already have an entire titanium drum full of 192 buckets of it. So that is going to be a good start. And the crystallized oil, again, in another chemical reactor with refined canola oil and crystallized canola seeds. So 2 parts of this we're going to need to get done. Crystallized canola seeds, not bad. We just put them in the regular seeds in a precision laser engraver. We can use the LV tier, and in fact, I already made 60 of them, so I've just been kind of passively letting this canola grow up and putting the canola actual product in there to create canola oil, and we've been taking the seeds and putting them in our laser engraver down there to get ourselves the empowered seeds, or the crystallized seeds, whatever one they're called. I don't remember, but either way, that we just need to get the refined canola oil. So we need to get the refined canola oil, which the refined canola oil is just regular canola oil in a fermenter. So we need a fermenter. And I'm thinking I'm going to want to make a MV one just for the speed's sake, and we're going to be upgrading our MV setup anyway. So let's go ahead and try to make a advanced fermenter. So it looks like all we're going to need is another MV machine hull. It looks like we need some aluminum plates. I think I was making something like that. No, this is a stainless steel. That's for the HV circuits. Can hang on to that. I think I put some plates in here. Yep, I have plates in there. All right. Make ourselves this hole. And the last part of this is going to be the pump. Okay. Should I use the assembler? It needs bronze, copper, bronze, steel, and a motor. I think we have an extra motor. We have the bronze rotors. Do we have... There's a motor. Let's see. Do I have any bronze screws? Is that necessary? Okay. It needs rubber. I don't really want to do that. Maybe I should just do it this way. Can use silicone rubber. I think I'm just going to use just regular rubber. Okay. I think I need to make some bronze. So I'm going to do a quick cut again and get myself the bronze screws. All right. That wasn't too bad. We made ourselves the bronze screws, got everything else we needed, and we crafted ourselves the electric pump here in our advanced assembly machine. So that should be everything we need to make ourselves the advanced fermenter. There we go. So now we have the advanced fermenter. I need to figure out what I want to do here. I really do think I need to kind of collect up all these materials. There's already something in here. Yeah, we have hydrochloric acid in here. Pull that out. Pull that out, and then I can take that machine off. The extruder, I can take that machine off. All right. The assembly machine has rubber in it. I'm not super concerned. Let's see. Do I have anywhere to put it? If not, I'm not too upset if I have to void it. Creosote's in there. Sodium persulfate's in there. Yeah, I'll probably just void that rubber. It's not super hard to make. I have actually stupid amounts of rubber that I could make, so I'm not really that worried about that. Get rid of that. Lubricant. We do want to deal with that, and I believe I have a super tank for that somewhere. Let's go ahead and find that super tank. All right, it's not in here. Make sure we're gonna get that cable. We're gonna need to reroute some stuff there. Alrighty. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't. I thought I had a super tank for it somewhere. This one has lubricant. Oh, I know what I did with it. I actually have a little outpost going right now to get myself some oil for the next stage. So let me go ahead and deal with that. So we go here into our map. We can teleport to this spot, which is where we have a little bit of a setup here. So we are filling this fluid tank up with light oil, and holy cow, we have 3.3 million of it so far. This is a big vein that I found out here, not too far from our base, just a little bit north, up here near some of these veins. So here's the base down here. Up here is where we have this huge vein. We fly down in here, make sure I have the fuel. Man, this is going to be forever. Might just want to keep this thing going. Just completely fill up this super tank. Why not? I feel like light oil can be useful. There's 3.3 million millibuckets of it. So we'll go ahead and just let this go, I guess. And make another tank of some kind. Let's see. Drum. There is a stainless steel drum. I don't really need that much of it. Just get a couple long rods. Make ourselves a drum. And now we can get that fluid out of the cutting machine, the lubricant. Yeah, we definitely did have it at one point full of stuff. But now we can take the cutting machine away. We have another chemical reactor here. I'm going to leave that chemical reactor. But what I think I want to do, actually, let me think here. Let's see. My plan was to move these diesel generators to this wall here. So I had 4 of them, and then this whole side would be MB machines, which I think I still want to do. How am I doing this one? I'm powering it from the back. And then inputs, outputs on top and bottom. Yeah, so let's do that. We're gonna have to deal with these chests at some point too, which I'm not super worried about right now, but it's a start. Oh, there's the super tank. I had that getting filled with oxygen. I don't remember what I was using that for, but anyway, we have that just in case we need it. Okay, let's see. We'll leave that chem reactor there until we have the means to move those fluids, because I don't really want to void those. So let's go ahead and get rid of these cables. Get rid of these. All right, and then we're gonna want to have, so this line here, because they'll be filled from the, I guess I could have it fill, I could just have them in a top line here and have them filled from behind the wall. Let's do that, actually. All right, and just for right now, let's see. I could have it go above. That might be the play. Do I have any useless stuff being made? This is filling into that. I do have this going somewhere, which I don't need now because we're going to move it. We can get some extra fluid conduits from there. All right. Cool. And we're going to end up needing to move this one as well, so not too worried about that. Let's see. Put the fluid filter back. That was just me voiding some useless stuff that I have too much to even think about dealing with, so we'll put that there. Bring this right across the top. Or do I want to go to the bottom? Let's see. I could pull a line from here and go underneath. Actually, that's going to be much cleaner rather than having this above the top. Sorry, I hadn't thought this through too much. Let's dig back here for now. Inventory's getting full again. Put some of these machines back. Okay, so this is going to be where we have the cable come. And then down here is going to be where the wire's coming. We can pull from this one, because we still want to have that tank. I'll probably get rid of it at some point, but I just thought it looks so cool. Oh, did not mean to do that. Get rid of that connection. Have these set to insert. And they're not getting fluids just yet, but they will as soon as I turn this bad boy on. Extract. And we should see this start to tick down. And these are going to fill up. Very nice. So these are now producing power. At which point we can block this back up. More will be going there, so we're not going to worry about what that looks like for now. And then we want a cable line coming through. So I learned in this pack that you can actually just use the 1X cables, because it won't overload a 1X as long as any source, any power producing source on the line doesn't produce more than the cable can allow, which they all produce 1 amp MV. So these can handle 1 amp MV. So it shouldn't have any problems with handling all of that storage or all of that power capability. So that's super cool. Just go ahead and run this cable all the way across. And then now we can start placing our machines in. So let's do, okay, we can do cutting machine. Advanced bending machine. Didn't even know I had this. I must have used it and forgot. Fermenter. Assembling machine, circuit assembler. Let's put the boom. Probably should put those a little closer. It's not going to be an issue, I don't think. And then the last machine we can put in between these is the extruder. All right, so we're getting a good base of machines built. Very nice. So we've got the cutting machine, bending machine, fermenter, extruder, assembling machine, circuit assembler, and the last one that we are going to do is the electrolyzer, at least for right now. We're gonna need more, that is for sure. The fermenter. So we're gonna need to load this up with our, we're gonna need to load this up with our seed oil, or our canola oil, rather. Okay. This chest is gonna need to get moved as well at some point. Just get rid of this die, right? All right, these chests are gonna be fun. We also have this advanced chemical reactor, which, like I said, I guess the ethanol I'm not worried about, but I would like to deal with this, with these things right here. Polyethylene. I feel like I'm gonna need to, I could do something with this. I guess I could just put it in the fluid solidifier. Let's just do that. Let's just put it in the fluid solidifier. I can always melt it back down. Am I tripping? Fluid solidifiers over here. Plate molds, don't need. We'll put it in ingot form. And we'll just let that go. Just to clear this thing out a little bit, we can grab ourselves the canola oil drum as well. Canola oil drum. All right, there it is. Put this in here. Very cool. Still only can hold 64 buckets worth of canola oil. Not too big of a deal. This is gonna go fast, huh? Yeah, this isn't gonna do. Okay, whatever. And then this is gonna be the chemical reactor. So we are gonna need to get rid of some of these things right now. I'm sure we're gonna need more chemical reactors, which actually I know that to be fact. Is there anything here I can deal with? Soldering alloy. I guess I can put this in the circuit assembler. That's what it's used for. Now we have 2 fluids available. Get rid of the diluted, get rid of the ethylene. Take the circuit, and we can destroy that once we get back. The ethylene I'm gonna put in here with the chlorine to make myself some PVC. Okay, that's clear. And the diluted sulfuric we're gonna put in the distillery, our LV one for right now, to get ourselves some of that sulfuric acid back. We do lose a little bit of it, but I mean, it's better than just getting rid of it completely. So we are getting a little bit of sulfuric acid back. So not a complete loss, maybe not the most efficient, but it's what we got right now. It's gonna make us more vinyl chloride. And once we combine the vinyl chloride with pure oxygen, is actually the best way to do it. We can get ourselves some PVC. You can also do it with air, but it just takes longer and is not as efficient. Let's go ahead and we can finally get rid of this chemical reactor. Cool. All right, so theoretically, I'm gonna grab myself some of this refined oil and then put the rest of the canola oil in. Rest of the canola oil in. All right, and then I think we can put this chemical reactor. Actually, let me think about this. We need the crystallized oil, and the crystallized oil is the refined canola oil. The refined canola oil goes in a fermenter. I just had it. I just made it. It's right here. Oh, it just goes back in it. Okay, well, that's not too bad then. What? What do you mean? What did I miss? Refined canola oil goes in a chemical reactor with crystallized. Okay, so I was wrong. Refined canola oil goes in the chemical reactor, and this is where we pull out our crystallized canola seeds, put those in there to make ourselves the crystallized oil. So this is very basic right now still. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to automate this, just because they're, you know, a little spread apart. But at least for right now, we're getting some of that crystallized oil and creosote to get the empowered oil. It's gonna have to go back into a chem reactor. Let me see, do I have... Here's my creosote barrel. Put these back. All right. Got 60 of that bad boy. Grab that, and then canola oil with crystallized oil. Should make our empowered oil. right? And another chemical reactor. 15 seconds for 10 millibuckets. I'm just gonna leave this on. Actually, I can just take it out and reuse it. Creosote, crystallized oil, and over the course of 5.4 seconds, we're gonna get ourselves 10 millibuckets of empowered oil. Very cool. And we are one step closer. Now this empowered oil, the final step is again in an electrolyzer with ethanol to make ourselves biodiesel and glycerol. So we need some sodium hydroxide, which I want to say that I have some laying around somewhere. If not, not a big deal. Not too hard to make. I think I have it. Sodium hydroxide, which we can make in a chemical reactor with sodium and water, which I think we already have a setup for right down here. I think it's this one. This one's in use? This one's in use for rubber. Again, I don't really want to do anything with that rubber. When in doubt, fluid solidifier it out. Then we want to connect this thing to water again. This is where I was making it before. There you go. Let's get some water and the sodium. And we also need an integrated circuit. Configuration uno. Throw that bad boy in there, and we are getting some sodium hydroxide dust. We're also getting hydrogen, which I realistically not too concerned about. It's one of the easiest gases to get with the materials we have. Just from everything that we've used, we've gotten so much hydrogen. But for right now, we'll just take that, turn it into small piles. Let's put this dust away. Plugging up the inventory. Alrighty, then we need 2 more drums. Let's see here. We're gonna need that empowered oil. Should I just make another chem reactor? How hard is it to make? Let's see how hard that is. Advanced chemical reactor. Looks like we just need another motor, another rotor. Pretty sure we have the rotor. We just need the motor, as well as some circuits, which I think are already in here. All right, searching around, and MV machine hole. Okay. We just need a motor, which we need copper wire and a magnetic steel rod. Running out of some steel. I might need to make a conscious effort to make a bunch more steel. That we should have the cable. Nope, but we do now. Okay, now we got to make another motor, and then that should allow us to make ourselves another advanced chemical reactor. So we can set that up next to this one. And then we can set this, if I have my wrench, which I do not always, I never do. I was going to make an LV one today. I just haven't gotten around to it. Set the output. Fluid auto output, there we go. So now we're getting the empowered oil. And I think this is where we use the ethanol. Let's see. Grab some ethanol somewhere, I'm sure. Grab it from here. There we go. and then ethanol, and then the small pile, or is it tiny piles? I think it might be tiny piles. It is. Not a big deal. Can make tiny piles. Just make a stack for right now so we don't clog up everything. Put that in there. There we go. We're getting ourselves mass amounts of biodiesel. I'm going to want to get a super tank to get the biodiesel made. It looks like we're making a good amount of it. I mean, that's a good amount. How much does it actually do? Burns for 0.7. What did the ethanol burn for? 0.6. Okay, so it's not much better, to be honest with you. Benzene would definitely be the route to go and then use gas turbines, but I wanted to do this route just because I thought it would be fun to kind of automate the biodiesel. I feel like that's going to be pretty important, so not too bad. All right. We've got that made. I don't need that. Let's see. Okay, so biodiesel is made. More MV machines, more circuits. Tidy up the base. I'm not kind of happy with where the base is at right now. I'm not going to bore you guys with it. Multi-smelter. That could be something we could go about trying. I think I could probably put it in here. I want to put it probably on this wall. Because I don't want EBFs here. And I'll probably have another room for vacuum freezers just off to the side here. Maybe back into the mountain a little bit more. I'm not sure yet. But anyway. Stainless steel still kicking away. Still kicking away. Not too bad. Now that we have those better LV circuits, making those super tanks shouldn't be bad at all. You could actually probably have another one set up just for glycerol and then have them sorted into the proper locations. So we could just have this thing up and running, and the only input would just be these, you know, empowered oils. Put the canola oil in here. It didn't take too long to build up the creosote oil either, so I'm not too upset with that. Refined. Oh. Okay. This is a disaster zone over here, but that's okay. I'm going to spend some time and do that and worry about this in between episodes when I can clear my inventory out and get my thoughts in order. But where do we want to go from here? I guess we want to go towards the multi-smelter. Now that we have a little bit better power generation, I'll probably end up making 2 more diesel generators. Let's just see if we have the stuff to make that. I think we need aluminum gears. Let's just see. Okay, diesel generator. Let's see. Where do I have you saved? Diesel generator. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna need a lot more motors, which we're gonna need more steel rods. So let's just go ahead and do that. Do I have any more steel anywhere? I do. Don't have much left, that is for sure. I have some over in the IPBF setup, but turn these into rods. That is not quick. Not quick at all. But whatever ones we can get, we'll get 4. I think 4 should be enough for at least 1, so we'll need 8 total. Turn these magnetic. Cool, cool. And then 4 more. Set this up back in the for the canola oil. Will these rods finish? Cool. Let's see how this'll do. Mix 4. All right. Let's see. Diesel generator. 2 of these pistons, which means 2 of these gears. And then lastly, More machine holes, which means we need more wrought iron, which I don't even know if we have any. Here we go, we have 32. We're running low on a lot of those early game materials, I'm starting to realize, which is not ideal. Not ideal in the slightest. Because once we run out of those, then we got to go back and kind of start over from scratch. Not start over, but we are definitely going to have to be consciously working towards that. Alrighty. Let's see. Everything look good in here? Yeah. I might take another chest and just fill it with plates, rods, screws, and stuff and set it on the other side of this. Let's see. Some plates. Two more. And where's our diesel generator? There we go. There's one. Okay, so we have one more diesel generator. There we go. And a fluid conduit. We're going to need more of those as well. We are running low on fluid conduits. There's even more power being generated. Do I have a copper cable? I do. So this should allow us to have a lot of these machines running. And also probably have some backlogs of power. I may set up a battery buffer here or on one of these walls so that I can kind of send that MV power anywhere along in the base. Because we're going to be getting, what would that be? 256 EU of MV. So, not too bad. Or I guess it's 512 actually if I end up getting the 4 that I'm planning on making. So we need to make 4 more electric motors. That's kind of what we're needing. 4 more electric motors, which just needs more magnetic steel rods. We're going to need 8 for the 4. So I need to make sure I have at least that. So 4 more per. We have enough. We just got to polarize these. Oh, we already did it. Whatever, we'll make 8. Doesn't hurt to have more. I know I'm going to have to come back and make more anyway. All right. What am I running out of? Oh, it's aluminum rods. Silly. I did electrolyze a bunch of clay, so after the stainless steel is done, I can switch it back over to making aluminum. I just don't have the materials quite yet to make a second EBF. Or I mean, it's more so the power generation that's an issue. But hopefully once I get these all set up, I can just kind of get the 1 MV energy hatch and have it run on that, so it shouldn't be too bad. I did not mean to do that. That was very silly of me. Oh, well, we made 7 more plates. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna need them anyway. I wanted you to go in the lathe. Get in the lathe. And that should be fine, hopefully. Like I said, I think it just needed 8. But we only need... Oh no, what am I out of now? Of course, copper cables. Why wouldn't I be? Good thing I have more. Okay. Oh man, we got the machine hull. We just need to get... What do we need? The pistons, which need 2 small gears. Need more rods, which thankfully we have. Yeah, we need to do some micro crafting for a while to get ourselves some of these base materials. That seems to be slowing us down quite considerably. But despite that, we did get our 4th diesel generator. But we don't have enough, we don't have any more fluid conduits, which is a major issue. We just need conduit binder and pulsating iron. We should have both of those things. Where is the pulsating iron at? Pulsating iron. Clean out the inventory slightly. Steel screw, I don't know why that's in there. Rods. Nope, we need that. Need that. Don't know why I have a hopper. Must have been using it for something. Okay, so we have pulsating iron. We need the pressurized fluid conduits, which we have 16. And some conduit binder, which I think we had in here. Okay, cool. So let's make ourselves some more ender fluid conduits. There we go. We got 2 more stacks. I don't play around with these conduits. They are awesome. They are awesome to have. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our last one in. I say last, but it's just the ones that we have available for us right now. Diesel generator in. And put the fluid conduits. Seems to be working fine. Now the question becomes, is our ethanol production setup sufficient to keep these up and running? I know it's not an issue right now because they're not using very much. I think that's going to be more of the thing once we get something that's up and running all the time, like an EBF. We'll see how much it's producing. I don't know if I talked about this, but I did upgrade this setup once again from 3 to 4 breweries. So we should be getting 1 entire bucket, actually a little bit more than that, of biomass every 25 seconds. So we're getting like 2 to 3, 2 and some change buckets of biomass per minute. So, which is hopefully should be producing us significantly more ethanol than we're consuming, which right now it looks like it is going up. I did actually take 64, so it's just been slowly building up. And it looks like it is still building up. Is the sugarcane farm able to hold up? It is most certainly able to keep up, and the compressor is also able to keep up, thankfully. So very nice. We have that set up too. I also forgot I have this setup down here for the light oil. Interesting. Getting a bunch of different things down here. I haven't touched this since I made my first polycaprolactam. I'm sure this will become useful at some point. If not, we can get rid of it and use it somewhere else. So I'm not too worried about that, but pretty cool for right now. Let's block this back up. All right, so that's pretty clean. We got these 4 diesel generators. Not too bad. Hopefully pretty soon we're able to make some multi-block turbines. I don't know if it works with diesel. Yeah, it does look like there is a large diesel engine. What's needed for this? Titanium, tungsten steel, EV. Okay, so we're not super close to that. We haven't even made these HV ones yet, which just looks like a lot of gold, stainless steel. Yeah, not a lot of gold, just more copper. Really, copper is going to be the main. I mean, I've used more copper in this world than I could even imagine. I think next episode for sure, I want to spend some time getting another EBF, maybe getting the next tier of coils, which we are very, very close to. If we look here in the quest book, one of the first things we can complete here in the HV tier is this Canthal dust, which it's just aluminum, iron, and chrome, which we should have vast amounts of. So maybe I'll spend some time smelting some of that Canthal up just so we are prepared to make that when we need it. But other than that, we are very, very close to getting through this. I might just complete these quests off camera just to get regular diesel. I'm not sure exactly what's required, but just to complete the quests, including the fluid drilling plant. I don't know how that works exactly. Maybe we can get that set up. But main things next episode I want to get set up. Multi-smelter might be fun. I'll probably get all the ingredients necessary for it, and then show me building that. MV superconductor shouldn't be too bad. There's more nitrogen, except this time it's MV pump and an MV superconductor base. So that's going to be another grind. Liquid Starlight would be so useful to have, but we don't have that yet. Getting down these refined circuits a little bit more. It looks like we have everything we need to actually craft it. I think I started making the stainless steel plates to get these at the beginning of the episode. So we'll probably just go ahead and craft those up. You know, that's where these stainless steel plates are going into, the refined assembly. And then we can get into the refined computer, which is another HV circuit. So it'll be an easier craft HV circuit, which is going to require the MV superconductors. And then that puts us very close to making our first mainframe, which is our first EV circuit. So I don't know why we go all the way up to EV circuit crafting in the, MV quest line, but hey, it is what it is. I guess that's kind of how they have this set up. But anyway, that's where I'm going to kind of hold off here. I think we've done a lot today. I've done some moving, some tidying up, and just some basic, chemistry that we've kind of been dreading, but we got it done today. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys for today. If you guys liked the video, please hit the like button. And if it's your first time watching me, or if you have been sticking around but haven't yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It really motivates me to continue going with this pack, as much of a grind as it is. Not to say I'm not enjoying it, but hey, it is what it is. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys. It's been Eagle. Peace.